Previously on Sovereign Citizen Vault.
I'd like to state some things for the record. Thank you, Judge. Today I'm appearing as the agent and settler for David Hall.
Okay. Could you get Mr. Hall for me then, sir? Where is he?
I go by that name, sir. My name sounds exactly like the defendant's, and I'm here to settle that matter today.
So are you and David Hall one and the same person?
I am here in my real capacity as the private individual for that name.
Okay,
and I'm here about that matter.
You're the
and I'm happy to settle it.
private individual, David Hall.
I'm the settler, sir.
You're the settler,
I'm the settler.
David Hall.
I'm the settler to David Hall, sir.
Okay.
I am secured party to David Hall on the record and through a filing at the Secretary of State, sir. I appear here today as the settler agent, not the person, but the individual. And I don't think I should have. You understand the difference between a person and an individual.
And you're the individual, but you're not the person. Is that correct?
Correct. Correct.
I'm going to write that down. The settler, the agent, the individual, and maybe even the person, David Hall, has been charged with DUI. A DUI while the settler, the agent, and even the person, David Hall, was out on bond on 2 cases, 1 felony and 1 misdemeanor, for license suspended. So the court believes that the settler, the agent, the individual, and even the person, David Hall, represents a danger to the community because the settler, the agent, the individual, and even the person continues to drive without a valid driver's license, in fact, a suspended driver's license in the state of Florida. So the settler, the agent, the individual, or the person, David Hall, for traveling on a public highway or public road in the state of Florida was allegedly doing so without a valid driver's license and has done it several times in the past. So today, the court's going to set the settler, the agent, the individual's bond, and even the person's bond today on count 4 at $10,000 because the settler, the agent, the individual, and the person has not stopped driving even though the settler, the agent, the individual, and the person continues to drive without a driver's license. The court will revoke the bond for the settler, the agent, the individual, and even the person of David Hall. Both cases will cause the settler, the agent, the individual, and even the person, David Hall, not to be able to be released from the Broward County Jail until further notice of the court. So,
may I post bond, sir?
Well,
is there any other?
Are you asking me as the settler, the agent, the individual, or are you asking me as the person?
Sir, I'm asking as the individual appearing before you today about this matter.
Well, the individual, the settler, the agent, the individual, or the person can post the bond. However, the settler, the agent, or the individual, David Hall, will not be released in any event because this court is revoking the bond on a felony case and a misdemeanor case on the settler, the agent, the individual, and the person, David Hall.
Where is my remedy, sir?
Well, whose remedy are you asking for? The settler, the agent, the individual, or the person?
I'm asking for the opportunity.
Who are you speaking on behalf of right now?
Sir, I don't understand that question. I believe that you're trying to confuse me now. Then what entity are you referring to me as?
I'm
because
referring
to me as
the David Hall, who's the settler, the agent, the individual, and the person.
I'm not the person, sir.
Okay, when
I am
you
not
see the person,
person,
David Hall, tell him he's not leaving jail either, all right?
Welcome to Sovereign Citizen Vault. Sovereign Citizen Vault. Looking and laughing at sovereign citizens of yesteryear. Watch as they stumble their way through their script and fumble their way through life. Sovereign Citizen Vault. Brought to you by Cochon Podrigue Lunch Meats. Cochon Podrigue. We teach our animals self-mutilation. You can taste the pain and suffering. And by Frauditor Roundup. Want to see a frauditor suck the pipe? Tune in to Frauditor Roundup. In today's very special episode of Sovereign Citizen Vault, We look at this anonymous airhead, goes by the name David Hall. David's pulled over, and soon the police realize he has no driver's license. And no amount of word salad he comes up with is going to save him from the eventual trip back to the Gray Bar Hotel. So sit back and watch on Sovereign Citizen Vault.
How you doing? What's your name?
I'm David, how are you?
David Hall? What's your last name?
Sure.
Sure you have ID because you look just like the guy this is registered to. Are you gonna lie to me?
I'm not.
You don't have a license, right? Am I
I'd rather
right?
not say anything that's going to incriminate myself, sir.
Well, let me see some ID.
I don't have ID on me.
Why don't you have ID? Is this your vehicle?
Sir, I'm not going to answer any more questions. Have I committed a crime or...
Yeah, but you don't have a license. I ran the tag. It's you. I look at your picture.
Sir?
It's you. You don't have a license. It isn't the end of the world. It doesn't mean you're going to jail. I'm just trying to find... Listen, if you don't have a license, you don't have a license. It's not the end of the world, right? Am I right or am I wrong?
Sir, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just not going to answer any more questions. Just because it could incriminate... It's just my right. It's just my right.
You're telling me you don't have to produce any identification.
I'm not saying that at all, sir.
Because if you're not
I'm just
telling
saying
me who
I
you
don't
are...
have one.
Then what's your name? Tell me your name.
I just did, sir.
David what?
I've already stated that, sir.
I didn't hear what you said.
But I'm not going to state it again, sir. With all due respect, have I broken the law or caused
If you
harm to
don't
anyone?
have a license, you have broken the law.
Is there a claim against me, sir? Has somebody filed a claim?
How does that have to do with anything?
Because I just want to know that have I caused any harm, and if I haven't, then why don't we just...
If you get pulled over and ask the police for corpus delicti, you might be a sovereign citizen.
I'm just not trying to give you a hard time, sir. I don't have any identification on me.
Show me out with the 13 vehicle behind 941 Northeast 62nd Street.
May I be on my way, sir? I'm going to just...
No,
I haven't
you
broken
cannot
the
be on your way. Listen, I'm going to put you in restraints because I don't like the way you're acting. Don't act anything silly. You understand me, sir? Put your hand behind your back. I didn't say you were, but you're not telling me anything I need to know. Is this your vehicle?
I'm on it right now, sir.
Is this your vehicle? You could be in that truck. Is that your truck?
I know, but you're asking me a question, and I'm saying I possess this vehicle.
Do you have any identification on you?
Can't go in my pockets, sir.
Well, you're probably going to be placed under arrest.
Can't go in my pockets.
I can if you've been placed under arrest.
I'm just saying right now.
Because you don't have a license.
I'm not saying I do or don't, sir. I'm just saying I don't have any identification. With all due respect.
Dear Lord, even the average layperson or lay chicken realizes you have to have a driver's license to drive in any one of these 32 United States. Wait, what? Well, I'm being told now that there are 50 states. My oh my, how times change.
Okay, well, with all due respect, when somebody else shows up here to keep an eye on you, I'm going to figure all this out.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Oh, you're doing your job.
That's exactly right. And you're hindering me by doing my job.
It's not my intent.
Because you don't want to tell me anything. So effectively, you're resisting me. You're resisting the perfectly illegal questions that I'm allowed to ask anyone that drives down the street.
Forgive me, sir. That's not my intent.
Well, it is your intent.
Please don't tell me what my intent is. I'm being... it's not my intent.
I'm on the north side of the plaza. I guess it's probably Northeast 62nd Street. White man. Vehicle is 67 X-ray Charlie Mike, the black scooter.
I'm just traveling today, sir.
If you refuse to hand over your driver's license because you claim to be traveling and not driving, you might be a sovereign citizen.
That's
Just
fine.
going from A to
We're all
B.
traveling.
I understand. But I'm
Do
not...
you have any warrants? I think you do.
Sir,
I think you have a warrant.
I think I'm not going to answer any more questions.
You don't have to.
Thank you.
You don't have to answer any questions.
I will remain silent.
Because if you have a warrant, you're going to be placed under arrest. Am I correct or am I not correct?
I'm not a-
You don't have to answer anything. You don't want.
I don't know,
Then
sir.
just sit here and don't say anything because I'm going to figure it all out here briefly. Once another officer arrives, so I don't have to worry about you absconding from this traffic stop, which, in all intents and purposes, I think you would do.
That's your opinion,
That's why
sir.
you're in restraints.
I have no reason to be in restraints. So I've given
Because
you no
you're not
reason to
telling
think
me
so.
anything.
But
You're going to
sir,
be placed under arrest because you're resisting
How
anyway.
could I flee from you? I'm standing here like on a scooter.
You're not standing, you're sitting.
Right? How could I flee?
I don't know. It's happened to me before.
Okay.
I've been doing this job for over 20 years,
I'm not
sir.
going to argue with you, sir. I know that you know how to do your job, and it's not for me to argue with that. I know you're doing your job, and I respect
I
that.
saw you over at the gas station. You drove on a public roadway, and now you're here. And what? And you're
drove
not even legally
privately.
parked. You stopped right here in the middle of a parking
I was
area.
turning around, sir. It was just about. I don't want to argue with
You
you,
don't
sir.
have to argue with me. Once somebody, listen, just do me a favor, don't say anything. Okay?
Then I'll just be silent, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Perfect. I like that idea.
Thank you. If there's any claim,
I didn't think you were going to say anything. I
May
thought you were going to be quiet.
I was just going to speak, sir.
You told me you weren't going to say anything. Now you want to speak to me?
No, I said thank you for making the offer for me not to speak. I appreciated that. Thank you. But I will speak now. If there is any claim, well, can you present it so I can?
I'm
examine
going to
it?
present it once I've explained it to you twice. Once another officer arrives, and I don't have to worry about any chance of you trying to flee from this
So
legal
you have my
traffic stop
word
where
as a
you
man?
did not. I don't have your word, sir.
I just gave it
You
to
won't
you.
even tell me your name.
I did give you my name.
What is it?
I gave you my first name, and that's what
Okay,
I go
that's
by.
all. That's all. That's the only name. You were born with a first name.
That's all my mother named me, sir, with all
Okay,
due respect.
well, we're gonna find out, sir.
My name is private property, sir.
If you claim your name or appellation as private property and charge money or gold coins for use, there's a strong case to be made that you're a sovereign citizen.
Oh, well, great.
Everything associated to the name that
I
go
gotta
by
talk
is-
on the radio, okay?
I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, I'm going to stand in the shade.
No, you're gonna sit there until somebody else arrives. If I have to stand in the sun, unfortunately you do too. I'm probably a little warmer than you. You see everything I'm wearing?
I meant no disrespect, sir.
Okay, well, you're just gonna have to wait for a few minutes, okay? You're gonna remain on this vehicle until the other officer arrives.
It's a vessel, sir.
If you refer to your car, truck, or scooter as a vessel or personal conveyance, there's a good chance that you could be classified as a group of people known as sovereign citizens.
And if that's what you wish, I mean, you're the guy with the autonomy. I'm forced to do what you tell me to do, aren't I?
As of right now, you are. You're being detained during the course of this investigation. You don't want to tell me your
What
name
am I being investigated for?
because you don't have a license, and I think you have a warrant. And you won't tell me your name. The good thing is we have computers that tell us who people are. We watch this guy. His name's, I don't know. He won't tell me. He's just making stuff up. Private somebody or something. He's a sovereign citizen. Which makes sense.
I've never said such a thing. I really don't understand what he's talking about.
Which makes perfect sense to me.
Sir, that's...
Oh, yep.
I'm not sure what's
So,
going on here.
this is Mr. Hall. Mr. Hall doesn't have a license. He
Mr.
told
Hall's
me his
99.
name was, I don't know what. But he has a warrant, I believe, which I haven't confirmed. But under the notes, it says he's a sovereign citizen. Just so you know.
Fantastic. I have no room to transport.
Oh, well, we'll figure that out.
Alright. I have like 9 million cases of freaking ammo in the back seat.
Who may I speak to? Are you in charge, sir?
As of now, I guess.
I'm just asking respectfully.
You can speak to me, man. What's up?
Thank you. May you call at Broward Treasury, and she could help with this.
How could she help with this?
She's my trustee.
Good?
Huh?
You good there?
Good, brother.
All right, thank you.
She's your trustee?
Yes, sir.
What does that mean?
She just holds certain securities. Well, we can deal with that if what you wish. Is there I just don't understand why I'm being detained. I haven't caused any harm. And nobody's made a claim against me. I'm not sure if you guys are making a claim. And I'm saying if there isn't any, then shouldn't I just be on my way?
You may have some warrants, sir. So if there's warrants for your arrest, then that would be the issue.
Warrant for arrest for who?
Well, this gentleman will explain it to you.
David Hall, as of right now, you have 3 warrants for your arrest.
Sir,
Stand up. We're going to
I don't
confirm them.
understand.
Stand up.
I haven't given you a name.
Yeah,
Sir,
well,
you can't go in my pocket, please. I don't consent.
If you don't consent to being searched, even after being placed under arrest, there's a good possibility that the chances are greater than 0 that you could be lumped into a group who we refer to as sovereign citizens.
I don't care. You don't have to.
For
You're
the
gonna be
record.
you don't have to consent at all. You're going to sit over here in the shade.
I have not given you my name.
I know, but you know what? We have photographs. Sit.
Okay, sir, but those... I haven't given
That's
you
not
my
you?
name.
Okay, well, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know when you were born and when you were arrested and what you've done, and that you are a sovereign citizen. And it doesn't
Those
mean
are
that you're above the law.
I've never said any of those things, sir. I did not...
Yeah, that's fine, Mr. Hall.
Asked for a name, I gave you a name, and now you're making assumptions, sir. That's all. Why am I being detained?
He already explained to you.
I know, but it doesn't. I don't understand that. There aren't any charges.
I'm going to even show this to this deputy and ask if he thinks you are one and the same.
Yes, that's all right.
Is that David Hall?
Say that's David Hall.
That looks just like you, sir. And it looks like you here. And it looks like you here. Here. In the 7 times you have been arrested in the Broward County system.
7 times? Sweet sassy molassie.
Dating back to when you were age 35.
Sir?
That's you, sir. You don't have to look, but that's you. The vehicle is registered to you. That's how it shows that you don't have a license, Mr. Hall.
Is David. I don't know who you're talking about, Mr. Hall. Okay?
What's your last name then?
My name
Try to dispel.
David.
David. David what? Is it because you're a sovereign citizen? You don't think the rules of law apply to you? Is that what you're trying to tell me? That the rules don't apply to this gentleman or myself? Or in fact you? Is that what you're trying to say?
I never said that. You said that, sir.
Okay,
With all due respect.
I'm going to confirm these warrants.
Why are you driving around with no license, man? It's no good.
I'm traveling privately, sir. I've given notice to the public. It's on public record. If you guys haven't, you're public agents. There is a public record that has been agreed to by all, and I will rely on the record.
See, that kind of thinking is going to keep getting you arrested, man.
With all due respect, sir, I'm just, you guys are going by certain records, correct? And I am going by certain records also. That's all. I know that you're doing your job and you're doing your best. So am I. To just live life unfettered and not bother or harm anybody, that is my intent. I haven't harmed anybody here today, sir.
Yes, but we have laws of the road that must be followed to make it just a little bit safer for everyone.
You know him?
Yes.
Let me talk to you a second.
Sean, don't say my name. Go.
What's his name? What's his last name? Hall?
I don't know his last name.
How do you know him?
So, hey, he's a musician in town.
Is he a sovereign citizen?
So, I have no idea about that. He's a good guy. Whether he's crazy or not, he's a good guy.
But you don't know his last
I
name.
don't. He's not a drunk or anything.
That's his
like
scooter?
that. So, I'd assume so. He's a regular around the town. He's always lived here and everything like that. He's actually a good guy.
Well, he doesn't want to tell me his last name. He doesn't want to tell me
He
this.
believes in UFOs and aliens and all that. Too.
UFOs and aliens?
Well, it would be kind of silly to believe in UFOs but not aliens, or aliens but not UFOs. Probably a flat earther as well.
He's a good guy, though.
Well, I ain't saying he isn't, but you can't, yeah, when you've got numerous warrants and you don't want to tell me your name.
I have no idea about that. So.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, if you,
You're being placed under arrest for 3 different warrants. Pretty much all of them have to do with driving. This gentleman in here said he would take your property if you wanted to go with him. If not, your property is going to go with you to the Broward County Jail. You understand me, Mr. Hall?
Yes, well, sir, if you're addressing me as Mr. Hall, my name is David, if you would be so kind.
Okay, well, it's David Hall, and I'm going to call you by your given name. David Hall. Mr. Hall.
My given name is David, thank you.
And this isn't you who gets items from the government?
Sir, can you call the Sheriff Israel, please?
Okay, well, you can call him when you get to the jail because I don't have his personal number.
He has my documentation, and I was told to ask you to call Sheriff Israel or Cinco at Broward Treasury.
If you insist that the police call the sheriff because they're the only ones with real authority, then there's a good chance that the possibilities are great, maybe even greater than 0, that the chances are strong that you're dealing with a person that can be classified amongst a group of people with certain beliefs that are called sovereign citizens.
Missy, do you have come on. Let me take that off over there.
Yeah. All right, let's rock.
Mr. Hall, do you want...
Yes.
Hey, listen, I want you on camera because everything we've done and said, you see this, is on camera. All 3 of us have them. Mr. Hall, do you want this gentleman, who I'll get his identification, to take custody of your property and your scooter?
He may take custody of that scooter.
What about this bag of snacks?
That bag he may take custody also.
Anything else? What about your currency?
Answer the phone if you would, if it calls. Yes or no.
You want to take this with you?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm also going to let you take your government assistance card.
Oh, the sweet, delicious irony of canceling all government contracts and not being under their jurisdiction, but of course using their government assistance.
Okay?
It's just a call, sir. I'm not saying it's
well,
mine or
apparently, you have it. It says David Hall. You match the picture of every David Hall that's been arrested in this county. So, unfortunately, sir, that's you.
not. I'm just saying you're making a presumption that that's the name, sir.
Let's see this. Make sure we have it on
I
camera.
haven't given you the name, and the name that I go by is private property. I haven't given you any...
Private property?
Yes,
So
sir,
if I
it's
look you up,
copyrighted
private property has a name in the great state of Florida and has a driver's license?
If you were to look up that name on Broward County Record Registry, you would see...
Has anybody done that to verify anyone's identity before?
You don't
Is that
check
like
the record?
proper? I did check your record. I checked your driving status, and you don't have a driver's
That's
license.
the clerk's record, sir.
Okay, well,
The Broward County Registry has the records on
I don't know.
public record.
We don't use that. That's not one of our databases
But
that
your
we use.
but your boss has been informed. It's a registered mail, sir.
Okay, well, you know what? I'm going to tell my boss everything you've said, okay? Just so he's aware.
With all due respect, thank you. Can you tell me what's about to happen?
We're about to go to downtown jail. How many open books for the warrants that you have?
This car here.
Do I have a hearing or something like that?
Yeah, you'll see a judge. You want to buckle him in? Here, I'll go to the other side.
Do I need this?
The seatbelt?
Yeah, it's protocol.
I'll be so restrained, I feel.
It's for your safety.
Alright, Mr. Hall, you have 7 warrants, you don't have a license, and you're on probation. So you've been arrested on every one of those instances, just so you're aware.
Well, there you have it. Another script fail for the sovereign citizen. Or maybe they just don't understand their rights. Will they ever learn? Maybe. But even if they don't, we'll be here to look and laugh on another edition of Sovereign Citizen Vault.